The Louie T Network is powered by MusicHead University. MusicHeads, classes in session. Turn me up. Enroll on YouTube now. Link is in the description.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome to the Command Post Live. You know what it is. Post up. Take command. Of course, I'm your Commander-in-Chief, Louie T. Thank you for joining me. 2 times on a Saturday night, on a Saturday. It must be important business. That it is. Shout out. Let me toast to those who watched the podcast episode, the bonus pod. I really want to go off on a tangent, wag my little finger at those who don't watch the podcast, who only tune in for Commanders content, but I can't do that because I get it. I understand if it ain't Commanders related, you don't care. But you miss stuff like this when you only pigeonhole yourself to just Commanders content. Because I literally talked about this earlier, but I realized there aren't enough of you who are paying attention to this. This is a big effing deal. Wake the fuck up. This is a big deal. It's the only reason I'm coming back for a second time today talking about the same shit I talked about earlier. Because a lot of you, you're not paying attention. You're minding your business. You're going about your day. And you're doing, and let me just apologize. And let me give a big shout out to all of you who watched this earlier when I was live earlier, or you doubled back when it was after it was done and it was already local, and you went up and you watched it and you took in the information. My apologies that I'm coming to you with something that is a duplicate of information that I've already given you. My bad, okay? My apologies, but I also appreciate you because I'm not really talking to you. You already know this because you watched it earlier. But for the rest of you, and I know I'm talking to a vast majority of you who didn't watch the video earlier, who have no idea what I'm talking about, shame on you, but I'm not mad at you. Open your damn ears, though, because this is important, okay? This is very important. We have a situation. We have a situation. We do. As do 28 other teams in the league. 30 of the 32 picks in the second round of the 2025 NFL draft have not signed their contracts yet. Yes, I just said 30 30 of the 32 picks in the second round of the 2025 NFL draft have not signed their rookie contracts. That includes our guy, the 61st pick, cornerback Trey Amos, who we need desperately. And we want him to be available immediately. And I don't know how this is going to go. This could be nothing. I could sit here and be talking all this shit. We're still 6 days away from the Commanders rookies having to report to camp. This could be nothing, right? He could sign his deal on July 15th, and this could be a non-issue. He could sign his deal on July 17th, and it's a non-issue. He could sign his deal on July 18th, the day that rookies report. He could show up that day. They could have a contract waiting for him. He signs it, and this is absolutely nothing. But here is what I will tell you. The Chargers started rookie camp today. And their rookie wide receiver, Trey Harris, let's call him the 58th pick. He might be the 57th. He might be the 56th. I don't give a shit. He could be the 51st. He could be the 41st. The Chargers reported to camp because they're playing in the Hall of Fame game on July the 12th. That's today. And he was not present. I don't know if this is a sign that these rookies, these second-round rookies, are banding together and they're going to make a stand or not. But I do know that he did not show up for the first day of reporting to camp. Rookies, now, it's not the veterans aren't there. Everything's not jumping off, but the rookies reported today, and he was not present. When we get to July 18th, and if Trey Amos does not have a deal and he does not report, we have a problem. Guess what? Our rookie corner is slated to be our starting corner this season. Now, again, it's July. And you may say, Louie T, you're overreacting. This is going to get done. And you're probably right. And I think this is going to get resolved. And this is probably going to be a non-issue. But I've never seen this before. This is why I'm reacting in this manner. And this is why I'm doing 2 videos in the same day about the same shit. Because this is a big effing deal. This is not something that has happened before where you could go, oh, well, this happened in 2020 or this happened in 2018 and this is what happened and this will get resolved. 30, listen to me. Okay, you know what? Fine, don't listen to me. Look, I'm showing you. Don't listen to me. Look at the screen. I'm showing you that 30 of the 32 second-round picks from this past year's draft have not signed a contract, including our guy, Trey Amos. This is a problem. A big one. Now, what I will say is once one guy signs, the next guy signs, and the next guy signs, and the next guy signs, and the next, and then this goes away. But I don't know if you know, but Quinshon Judkins just got arrested for domestic violence. This has nothing to do with nothing, but it just speaks to this is a very volatile situation. I don't know when this is going to be resolved. Because if Nick Amanawari doesn't decide to say, you know what, I'm going to take the standard contract. And for those of you who don't know the backstory behind this, I'm not going to explain to you. That's why I did the video earlier. You want that information, go watch the video I did earlier. I'm not doing it again. But if a Nick Amanawari says, nope, I'm trying to get what the first 2 guys got, and Quinshon Judkins, who is in no position to really be pushing any buttons right now, decides, I want what everybody else is getting, this shit could go on for a lot longer than we think. These players are trying, and you know how I feel. I've always said this. I'm always on the side of the players. And that doesn't change here. I'm on the side of the players. Because the NFL, the league, they always have the upper hand. When they think a guy is underperforming, they gave him a contract, he's not living up, they cut him. He doesn't get his money. That's how they operate. This isn't the NBA. This isn't the Major League Baseball. This is MLB. Guys don't get their money if teams think they're underperforming. They cut them. No more guarantees. You don't get anything. Goodbye. Thank you for your service. Get out of here. So I'm always on the side of the players. Get your money when it's there to be got. It doesn't change here in this situation. These rookies are standing up for themselves. 2 teams decided to go rogue and go outside the box and do something that was unconventional. And now the rest of the league may have to pay for it. Too bad. That's not these guys' problem. That's not their agent's problem. Those 2 teams effed up, and now the rest of the league has to pay for it. Get your money. That said, boy, I said this earlier. We need Trey Amos like we need air to breathe. We need Trey Amos very, very badly. If he does not show up for training camp when it first starts, and again, none of this matters to me, honestly. Like, none of this really matters until we get to about a week into training camp, when the pads go on and the real football begins. The first 3 to 4 days of training camp is going to be conditioning, getting them back acclimated to the things that they did in the spring in terms of install and all that stuff. Don't really give a shit about any of that, right? What I care about is when those pads go on, about day 5 or 6 of training camp, day 6 or 7, day 8 or 9 of training camp, when those pads go on and all of a sudden real football is taking place, that's when it becomes a problem. And I don't know, I'm not talking about 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 guys that haven't shown up, who haven't signed their contracts, people. I'm not talking about, oh, man, only 3 rookies haven't signed, and one of our guys is one of the 3 rookies. That's not 30 second-round picks have not signed their rookie contracts, okay? In excess, 33 players have not signed their rookie contracts. 2 in the first round, 30 in the second round, including our guy, Trey Amos, and 1 in the 4th round, Jack Kaiser. 33 rookies. I don't care about Jack Kaiser. I don't care about the 2 first-round picks. Hell, I don't even care about the other 29 second-round picks. I do care about the other 29, or at least the other 25 in front of Trey Amos. I don't give a shit about the 3 behind him. Once the guys in front of him sign, he's going to sign. It's the guys that are in front of him that are going to set the tone. And right now, we're at a stalemate. And just so we're clear, the Chargers today, because they're in the Hall of Fame game, showed up for rookies, in terms of rookies showing up for training camp, right? Rookies always show up before the veterans. Their rookie, Trey Harris, didn't report. And again, I need to stress this to you so you are aware of what I'm referring to. Rookies aren't under contract. They're not a part of the NFLPA. They don't have to report because they're not getting fined, because they're not actually a part of the team technically yet, because they haven't signed a contract. So they don't have to show up. This is a problem, people. Wake up. If you're still thinking that this is not a big deal, Trey Harris didn't show up for the Chargers. This could be a sign of things to come. Trey Amos might not show up 6 days from now when the Commanders rookies report for training camp. This is a problem because tomorrow another team will report and their rookie might not show up. I think the Lions are playing the Chargers in the Hall of Fame game. So the Lions are probably going to be the next team to show up for their rookies. And their rookie, let's see, who's on this list that is a Detroit Lion? Boop. Tate Ratledge might not show up for camp for the rookies reporting. That's a problem because then there's 2 instances of rookies in the second round who haven't signed a deal saying, you know what? I'm not coming to camp until I have a deal. That's a problem. Because our corner, this isn't a situation where we're one of these teams like, say, the Bills with TJ Sanders. TJ Sanders probably not starting for the Buffalo Bills this year. Probably a depth guy. They want to develop him. He's going to play a lot, but he's not starting. They're not hurting if TJ Sanders doesn't show up. They might be all right. Right? There's other teams up here. Dallas, Donovan Ezeraku, if he doesn't show up, look, they want him to show up. He's going to be a part of their defense, but he's not starting. He doesn't show up. We'll survive, right? We are starting Trey Amos. We need him here ASAP. And he's been a good sport about everything. I don't want you to turn on Trey Amos. He needs to sign and he needs to come in here. Bullshit. This is not a Trey Amos problem. This is an NFL problem. Get these guys signed so he can sign his deal so he can be in camp when he's supposed to. This is not a Trey Amos problem. So don't turn your attention to him and start blaming him and start calling him greedy, selfish, whatever. This isn't a Trey Amos problem. This is an NFL problem. The Texans and the Browns, really the Texans, started this shit. So that's where the issue lies. But ultimately, you started a problem. Now let's see how it gets handled. All I know is we need our guy to show up. I literally released a video today talking about how this is the number one secondary, or not secondary, cornerback room in the NFC East and in the conference. I said that today, a video that I released today. If you haven't watched it, again, shame on you if you haven't watched that video and you're a Commanders fan. But whatever. And I'm not backing away from that. I still feel that way. This doesn't change any of that. But that doesn't hold true if Trey Amos isn't there for camp and isn't getting the work that he needs to be getting during training camp and into the preseason. All of that is null and void at that point. We need him. He's starting for us. As much as we talk about the depth we have at corner, we don't want it tested in training camp because of a contractual situation. I can't speak for you. I don't want it tested because of that shit. I wish I could say that this isn't a big deal. I wouldn't be here talking to you if it wasn't. Me doing a video on the same shit twice in one day? Are you crazy? It's Saturday. You know I value my Saturdays greatly. You see what I got in my hand? You know what time it is. I should be watching Mr. McMahon. I was watching that on Netflix. Quarterback is on Netflix. I have shit to do. But instead, I'm talking to you because this is important. Don't sweep this aside. Oh, okay. They'll figure it out. Bullshit. There are 30 second-round picks who have not signed. This is a problem. This has never happened before. I'm nervous, and I'm not usually nervous. I'm usually the voice of reason. Don't worry. It'll get done. How many times have I told you about Terry's deal? Don't worry. It'll get done. I'm the voice of reason normally. I'm nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. And I might be nervous for no reason. This may get resolved, but I've never seen this before. I don't know how this is going to go. And we have a general manager in Adam Peters who is a bully. We've seen him in action. We see it right now with Terry. He's a bully. I like it too. I'm not mad at him for being a bully. I like that he's not going to kowtow and he's not going to just relent and give in to guys. He's going to do what he thinks is the right thing and in the best interest of this organization moving forward. But this could be a problem. We have Super Bowl aspirations. This is all I wanted this offseason. I have PTSD and it's probably showing itself right now. This is probably PTSD right now in its most rawest form right now. And I wish I could tell you it's not, but it probably is. Let me take a sip because I probably just need to calm down. I want so badly. I told you the last bit of PTSD that I have is I so badly want to see a double-digit win season and a playoff season that was preceded by a playoff year the year before. We have not seen that. I haven't seen that really in my adulthood. I got to go back to the years of me being 5 and 6 years old, the last time this team made the playoffs 2 consecutive years. Guilty as charged. So when I tell you that this is a big season for me as a fan, this is a big effing season for me because I want to rid myself of any PTSD that I have left. I don't want any more of this baggage that Dan Snyder put on my damn account. He charged this to my account and I'm trying to get rid of it. I want this off of my credit report and I don't want to see this shit anymore. And I just want to be over this so I can move on as a fan and just trust in the organization like most fans of good run organizations can. Green Bay Packers fans don't worry about what their organization is doing. They may question this move or that move, but they don't ever worry about it because they're going to find a way, right? Chiefs fans don't worry about what they're going to find a way. Ravens fans, they're going to find a way. Bills fans, they're going to find a way. I just want to be one of those fans. This season is big for me as a fan. It's big. I need this season to go well so that I can put that in the rearview mirror and shed myself of any PTSD that I have left. That is all I have left. That little small, teensy bit of PTSD of you haven't been to the playoffs 2 consecutive years. Show me you can do it again. Show me that all this attention, all of these island games that you have, 8 of them. Show me that all of this attention that you have coming your way. Show me that all of these expectations, I have Super Bowl aspirations for this team. Show me that this isn't a mirage and that I'm not crazy for thinking that we got a shot because we got 5. Tell me I'm not crazy. I just want an offseason with no distractions. We haven't had a single one to this point. And if you sign Terry before camp, and if this Trey Amos shit gets done before camp, we don't have any distractions. We've had the most flawless and perfect offseason a team can have. Everything has gone right for this organization this offseason. You can't name one thing that has been negative. Everything has been positive. We've got things out into the future, 2030, new stadium, 2027, draft, new jerseys, or alternates at least, coming this season. You can't name a thing that has been negative this season. But if you don't get Terry McLaurin signed, and if you don't get Trey Amos in here before training camp, we have a problem. And I want no distractions because even though I trust Dan Quinn, I trust Adam Peters, I trust this coaching staff, and even with the distraction that may come with a Terry extension not getting done, a Trey Amos deal not getting done on time, even with that said, I trust them. I still have PTSD. And that has nothing to do with this staff or what they're capable of. I know that they're detail-oriented and they're going to keep everybody else focused. That's a me problem. That's not a them problem. That's a me problem from 30 years of this shit that I just can't shake until they show me that I don't have to worry about all the shit that came before them. So for me, I need this season like I need air to breathe. I need this season to work. I need this season so I don't have to do this again. I need Trey Amos in camp before. I need him to sign a deal before July 18th because I don't need the distraction. I don't need the questions. I don't know if he's going to show up. He may show up. He may sign a waiver. I doubt it, though, because what Trey Harris did in Los Angeles with the Chargers, to me, is a precursor of what every other second-round pick who hasn't signed their contract is going to do. I'm worried. You damn right I am, because he's our starting corner. As much as I've talked about the depth of the cornerback position and, we're in a great spot, I don't want Mikey Sanders still having to go back outside. I don't want Noah Igbenogany having to start inside. I don't want, Jonathan Jones have to start outside. I don't want to have to do any of that shit. I don't want Jonathan Jones to have to start inside, Noah Igbenogany or Mikey Sanders still to have to go outside. I don't want any of that shit until it has to happen because of some unforeseen circumstances. I just want everything to go off without a hitch. Is that too much to ask? As a fan that's dealt with a dysfunctional organization for over 25 years, and you're starting to win this fan base back, and you're doing all the right things, you're pushing all the right buttons, all I ask is that you continue to do what you've done so that people like myself who want to trust this organization blindly can do so without having to worry about anything. And again, this isn't a Commander's organizational problem. This Trey Amos situation, It's 30 teams. Like, blame the Browns, blame the Texans. If you want somebody to blame the Texans. They started all of this shit. Okay. There are 30 other draft picks in the second round, 28 teams to be exact, who don't have a guy signed, as they are looking at this next week coming up, figuring out how are we going to get this done, because we got rookies reporting for camp over the next week or so. We're not alone. This isn't a Commanders problem. This is a league-wide phenomenon. I just don't want to be included in this because our guy, like, again, I can't speak for whatever other teams are doing. I don't know what Quinshawn Judkins, again, he just got a domestic violence charge. I don't know what he's got going. But thank God we didn't draft him, right? Like, that's not our problem. That's a Cleveland Browns problem. Let them deal with that shit, right? So glad we didn't draft him, because we were talking about running back and Quinshawn Judkins and his teammate Travion Henderson and all the, like, that's not our problem. We drafted Trey Amos, good guy, no issues, off the field, but just like 30 other second-round picks, doesn't have a deal yet. Not one that he wants to sign. Can't be mad at the organization for that. But damn it, I just want this thing to go off without a hitch, because I can't take another season in which we have expectations and we don't live up to them. I don't know how many more of those I have in me before I start to just tell myself, set the bar extremely low and then let them clear it. I'm not there anymore. My mind isn't there anymore. These guys have changed my way of thinking. And even if I want to think that way, we got 5 at quarterback. My mind can't go to that point. We got one of them ones at quarterback. I got 5 on it. I got 5 on it. I ain't tripping. But I want this defense to be better. I want this defense to be better. And a part of the defense being better is Trey Amos being a part of this defense. And again, rookies have a learning curve. I've already told you he's going to have a learning curve. He's a rookie. I expect it. Same with Josh Connolly Jr. at right tackle. He's going to have a learning curve. I don't expect rookies to come in here and be flawless. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to get beat. Things are going to happen. You know what makes it even harder of a transition? If you're not available from the very first day of training camp. This is why I want Trey Amos available the very first day of training camp. So what I need is for the rest of these rookies, or at least the ones in front of him, I need them to sign their deals so Trey Amos can sign his deal so we can go on about our business. We shouldn't be talking about a Trey Amos second round pick deal. We should be talking about Terry McLaurin getting his deal. That should be the contract that we're over here mulling over and talking about and obsessing about. We shouldn't be talking about our second round pick. This should be a formality. We shouldn't be having these discussions. But this is a new day and age in the NFL. It's the new world order. It's a brand new world out here. A whole new world. I hope you're watching, Door Gunner. I hope your dog is barking as loud as he can possibly bark. I hope he's going nuts. It's a whole new world out here. These second round picks ain't playing right now because 2 teams decided to go rogue, and now teams have to make a decision if they want to follow suit or if they're going to play hardball. I'm not saying, I'm just saying we need Trey Amos. And I said this earlier, like, we need air to breathe. Again, I don't think this is going to be a, training camp long, preseason long, season long thing. I don't want him missing anything. Nothing. I don't want to come back, 6, weeks from now. I don't want to come back 8 weeks from now First week, second week of the season, he's getting beaten. Somebody's like, well, remember, he missed the first week of training camp. I don't want to hear that shit. I want no excuses about nothing. I want to hear day one. I want no excuses. I want anything to stand in the way of this man being the best player that he can be, because I think this dude is going to be a dog, an absolute dog. Where my dog's at? My dog's at? Must I go through to show you shit is real? I think he's going to be a dog. So I don't want anything standing in the way of him being that. I want no excuses, none of that. Get him in here day one, and let's get to work. So I said all of that to say this. I can't say that don't worry. I'm worried. I can't project don't worry on you when I'm worried. There's 30 other draft picks. Our guy is 27th in line. Okay. Like, I'm nervous. I should be. There's 26 guys in front of him that haven't signed their deal. Yeah, you bet your ass I'm nervous. They don't sign their deals. He's not signing his. Yeah, I'm nervous. So I'd love to tell you, don't worry. This is nothing. It's something. And I'm shocked that we haven't heard more about this. But the fact that this is really unprecedented territory that we're in. We haven't seen this before. Not since 2011, when the new CBA came out and all of these, slots were in place and guys knew what they were getting and they just signed their deal because that's what the guy did before. That's what the guy did the year before that, the year before that. That's just what you did. You signed your deal. Long as there's no crazy language in there, you signed your deal. Well, times have changed. Guys are getting fully guaranteed deals, and now the whole situation has been upset. It's no longer a situation that's of the norm. Now teams have to make a decision as to whether they want to fall in line or if they want to say, no, we're staying the course. You got to make a decision if you want to play football this year or not. And that's just, I don't want to get caught in the crossfire. As a fan of a team that thinks I have a legitimate shot to win a Super Bowl this year, I don't want to get caught in the crossfire. Because our starting corner is one of these guys that's not on the contract. I don't want to get caught in the crossfire. That's all. That's it. That's all. Is that too much to ask? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But shout out to everybody that's out there. Shout out to all of you. Big shout out to all of you who watched the video I put out earlier today, who were there with me live when I was talking about it. Shout out to all of you. Cheers. All right. I got a super chat and then I'm going to get out of here. I didn't want to talk you to death. I'm nervous. When I get nervous, it's not even about me. It's just I want to make sure all of you are aware of what's going on because, when I do a podcast, if you're a Commanders fan, you don't care nothing else about nothing else, you're not going to watch that episode. You're not going to know that this is a big effing deal. So I had to do another video to make sure that the Commanders fans out there are aware that this is a big effing deal. Trey Amos is not on the contract. And again, I said this earlier today, my dumb ass, I typed it into Google, did Trey Amos, and of course, AI dumbass told me, oh, yeah. See, this is why you can't believe everything you read, right? And this is the thing that made me question the Google search that I had done 3 times. I did this Google search 3 times. And it told me every time, Trey almost signed a 4-year, 7-point, whatever deal. Yeah, he signed his deal. Hey, I said, okay, I'm tripping. I ain't tripping. You've seen the videos I've done. In every single one of those videos, I've gone and I've given you the players that are in that position group. And I've cut those pictures out and I've pasted it on my shows. And I got that off of the Commanders team website. And I've been doing that for months. I'm on that Commanders team website every day. Every single day I check it just to make sure nothing crazy is going on. Right? Nothing different. I didn't miss anything. I'm on that site every single day. And their roster was out of whack for like 4 months, right? After the season was done, all the way until late June, the roster was out of whack, right? From February all the way to June, it was garbage. They added players in. They had miscellaneous pictures, bad, heights and weights, and the shit was, they weren't in the right positions. They didn't give a shit. They just added guys when they signed them, or if they added them, via draft. It wasn't legit information, right? They fixed all of it. And the crazy part was that it said unsigned draft pick, Trey Amos, all the way at the bottom. And I disregarded that because I did a Google search. Google doesn't lie, right? I did a Google search. And the Google search said Trey Amos had signed. But keep in mind, every time a guy signs, they put out a picture of that guy with a sign that says signed behind them, with them signing the damn contract. And we saw one for Josh Connolly Jr. We saw one for all of the other draft picks. Kane Madrano, right? Jalen Lane. We saw one for, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. We saw all of those guys sign. We never saw one for Trey Amos, right? But, I said, they signed, because he signed, right? Because Google said he signed. F Google. The team website says unsigned draft pick. And I said, well, maybe they just haven't updated the site. And I lied to myself over and over again, because the shit said unsigned draft pick for the last 3 weeks. They updated the site, right? At first, they had unsigned draft pick. He was the only one. But everything else was still out of whack. So I was like, yeah, this shit ain't updated. I ain't tripping. But if it wasn't updated, while the rest of them are with the rest of the roster, the other 89 guys that are on the roster, but this one guy is separated from everybody else. So then when they finally fixed the entire roster and they got everything tight and it's nice and neat, guys that are playing the right positions, right weight, right height, everything. And I said, this is nice. They got it set up, but he's still all the way at the goddamn bottom, away from the rest of the roster. And it says unsigned draft pick. And I said, this can't be right, because they wouldn't do this on the team site if he was actually signed. They would fix it. So you know what I did? I did some research. You know what the research showed me? The research said, hey, he's one of 30 second-round picks that hasn't signed his rookie deal. Well, oh shit, we got a problem. So you know what? We got to wait to see how this shit plays out. And they got till July 18th to figure this shit out. It's July 12th. They got till July 18th to figure this shit out. I don't know if the other guys are going to sign between now and then. I don't know if they're going to go, if he's going to say, you know what, I want to be in camp. I'll take 2 years, fully guaranteed. I don't need a fully guaranteed contract all 4 years. Just give me the 2-year standard joint and I'll rock. I don't know if other players are going to do that. I think there's going to be somebody that's going to say, you know what, I don't need a fully guaranteed. The agent is going to tell them, you should wait and see what happens. And he's going to say, no, F that. I need to be in camp with my teammates. I need to go. Get me the contract. Let me sign. And maybe that will prompt some other guys to sign and get into camp. And the league will win again. I'm not rooting for the league to win. I'm rooting for the players to win. I'm rooting for the teams to set precedents and say, all right, everybody gets a fully guaranteed second round contract. They're not going to do that, though. And that's why this shit is scary, because the league is being tested here and owners don't like to lose. And the agents have leverage because two teams decided to go rogue. And so now there's a standoff. There's a staring contest. This is a game of chicken. Who's going to flinch? Who's going to blink? Who's going to swerve first? And generally, the league does not blink, flinch, nor swerve. I don't know what's going to happen. But as I said earlier, I do not want our second round pick, our starting corner, to get caught in the crossfire. So that's just my thoughts on all of this. Again, we could wake up on Monday morning, Trey Amos is signed, and so are the rest of these second round picks, and this is nothing. And you'll look back on this video and say, Louie T, you was tripping. Or we could get to July 18th when rookies report he's not there, and you could say, uh-oh, you were right. I want to be wrong. I'm not one of those guys that wants to be right. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is a non-issue. I hope on July 15th, 28 of the 30 rookies sign their deals, including Trey Amos, and this is a non-issue, and this is a big nothing burger. I just don't get the feel that that's what this is as of July 12th. With Trey Harris being the first to make a statement as the Chargers rookies report to camp, and he's not present, I don't get the sense that this is this will be fine. Everyone's going to report. This is nothing. We could talk that shit for OTAs and phase 1 or phase 2 or phase 3 of OTAs, or even mandatory minis. Not a big deal. It's not a deadline. We're talking about summertime now. Summertime. Summertime. This is the deadline. I talked about that with Terry. I'm talking about that with Trey Amos. This needs to get done. I hope I'm tripping. Cheers to me tripping. David Brown, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, David Brown, writes, what up, Lou? What's up, David? Thank you for the support. You were there earlier today when I talked about this. You're back here again today, or tonight, rather. Really appreciate you. My guy writes, Amos gonna sign. Relax. 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 You hit me with the Aaron Rodgers. I hope you're right, man. Cheers to you being right. Cheers to you being right. Relax. 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 Whew. I hope you're right. Because my confidence level, I'm more confident that a Terry deal gets done than I am Trey Amos. Like, I'm not telling you that Trey Amos isn't going to be present for training camp and he's not going to play in the preseason. And I'm not telling you that. I'm just telling you that I'm more confident in a Terry deal getting done before this deal gets done, because the Terry deal is isolated. It's just him, his agent, and the team. There aren't other factors involving their situation that impacts it. There are 26 players in front of Trey Amos that if they don't sign a contract, he more likely than not won't sign his. Now, he can say, to hell with what the other 26 guys in front of me are doing. I want to be present. I can sign my deal, even if it's only 2 years guaranteed. He can do that on his own. And there may be players that decide to do that. But his agent is probably insisting to him, bro, let's just wait to see what everybody else does. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you shortchange yourself. Let's see what the 60th pick. Let's see what the 59th pick. Let's see what the 58th pick. Let's see what the 48th pick does first before you sign your deal. And if that's the case, who knows what we're in for? And that's the situation that has me a bit more nervous with him than the Terry situation. Because Terry is literally him, his agent, and the team. Ain't nobody else involved in that. No outside factors. It's just those three entities. This situation with Trey Amos, there are 25 other organizations that have to make a decision on whether they want to give in to what the first two teams did, or if they say, nah, we standing 10 toes down on what tradition has been. Carry on tradition. Tradition says you get a 2. And the players might say, well, the first 2 picks in the draft ain't get that, in the second round ain't get that, so we ain't signing for nothing less than that. Now we got a problem. Maybe there's a compromise and it turns into 3 years, fully guaranteed, not the 4th year. Whatever, I don't give a shit. Just get it done. That's kind of where I am. I don't really care. Just get it done, right? I need my second round pick in training camp from day number 1, so he doesn't miss a thing, doesn't miss a beat, and is ready to man up one of the boundary corner positions that we so desperately need an upgrade from a year before. That's all I'm looking for. But I digress. Enough of me rambling. I've done it for long enough tonight. Y'all know where I stand. I just wanted to make sure that you Commanders fans out there were aware of what the hell is going on, because a lot of y'all are asleep on the goddamn job. Wake the hell up. We got a situation. We got a situation. Wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Our pick ain't signed. Wake up, wake up, wake up. We need his ass now. Wake up, wake up, wake up. We need Trey Amos. Wake up, wake up, wake up. We need him. Wake up. We need Trey Amos, and he's not signed to a contract. And if Trey Harris, Chargers second-round pick wide receiver, is any indication of what the other second-round picks who are not under contract are going to do, we're in a world of trouble. Anyway, I digress. You guys have a good one. Take care. See you later. Hopefully, all of this is a non-issue. Everything is resolved. And I was just spouting off for no reason. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope that this video comes back to bite me in the ass. I want it to. I don't give a shit if I'm wrong. I don't want to be right about something that isn't right. I want to be wrong about this. Doesn't feel like it's going to go the way that I want it to go, though. So, anyway, you guys have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I got another video coming out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Enjoy the content that already came out today. Enjoy the content that comes out tomorrow. We'll be back on Monday. We'll talk about all of this. Till then, you guys have a good one. Take care. God bless. Good night.